Okay, so I'm working on a piece, but I, had to just share this clip it now because it's really just sitting on my heart, and I mentor a lot of women, and I wanted to talk about relationships. When we're young, we get on this relationship high when, you know, we feel in life that societal pressure. We see friends getting in relationships and getting married and having kids, and you start feeling like, oh my goodness, I don't even have anyone to even talk to even consider. And then you get into a relationship, and when we're younger, it's more about just the fun of saying you have someone, or getting to go out and do fun things and having someone by your side. You're not really thinking about who you are or that person, or how you really complement the other person and help the other one grow. That doesn't come till later. And sometimes people get into relationships and even marriage before they're even aware of this. They get lost in this quick and fast love of just the feel goods of everything that's going on around. They don't really question why they love somebody, or what it is about that person that shows them that they really love them. And that's why you find people later on getting divorces, because people don't really know themselves and what they're looking for truly in somebody. And the thing that I really want to talk about is compromise. We end up compromising a lot in our life because we don't know who we are, or because we've been hurt in our past, that not only do we compromise, we begin to conform to become the person somebody else wants, whether it's who we are or not. And we just want so desperately to feel love and value that we justify their wrongdoings or things that don't sit right with us. We justify them because we want to feel better. We want everything to be okay. We compromise. We give up the things that we love or that mean something to us because we want to be with that person, and we want to meet their needs and be where they are. And we begin to just give up, who we are. And I wanted to show you what that looked like, because I got into a relationship that I should never have gotten into, but I was young, and I'm sure we all have stories like that. And we really had nothing in common, and I couldn't talk to this person on the level that I desperately wanted to be able to speak to somebody and connect with someone on that. Intellectually, I could be stimulated in a conversation and challenged within my own thoughts to become a better person, to grow within myself and do more. I wanted someone who was adventurous and outgoing and took risks and had this grand vision for their life to impact and make a difference, that I could do missions work or just travel around the world, and wherever we went, we wanted to impact. And that was not the relationship I was in. And there was a lot of things that are who I am, whether it's writing or taking pictures or different things, that I started tucking away. I began tucking away things about myself because they didn't fit the same background and likings of the person that I was with. They weren't valued or appreciated. They weren't encouraged, or even that person didn't take notice of it. And I began conforming and losing myself in somebody else out of fear. And it didn't happen overnight. It happened little by little. And one thing I wanted to point out, when we compromise, because we compromise and we don't realize our value. We don't realize our gifts and talents and the things that we can do. We start losing ourselves in another person because we think we're going to find our identity in them, that they're going to be the successful one, they're going to do the other thing, and I'm going to be on their side, and that's who I'm going to be known for, and that's the person I'm going to be known to be with, and that's who I am. And we give up on ourselves. And that's what I was doing. And I had people who kept tapping me on the shoulder saying, why are you here? Why are you in this job? Why are you taking these little things? And in my mind, I'm like, oh, you're doing it for love. You make sacrifices for love or whatever. It wasn't love, and it was fear. It was truly fear. And I was giving up opportunities to grow and expand and become myself. And what I wanted to let you guys know, and women, when you compromise, you think it's great in the moment, but you end up losing in the long run. And you give up people the opportunity to become themselves and to grow and expand who they are and where they want to go in life, and you end up losing because, you see, I didn't gain from my compromise. I had years of pain and heartache, and now I share a child. I had to go through a lot because of my compromise, and at the same time, with compromising, that person got a full college degree and job and all of these things, and I didn't go to school and I didn't do those things. They got to go to school and finish their career or their degree and get a career, and I took on the role of motherhood, and I love that role. But I grew up really quickly. My compromises led to me being a solo mom. It led to me being woken up really quickly while somebody else went out and continued to go to school and party and do whatever they wanted to do. I grew up fast and took on role of mom, and I had to learn what it was like to be a solo mom. And I don't want to say the word had, I got to, and I get to, and I got to learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. My compromise led to something I wasn't ready for, I didn't plan for, and that wasn't expected in my life. Sorry, I'm sitting in the parking lot. But it woke me up at a time I needed to be woken up. And I got to figure out who I was by falling flat on my face, because it's not easy when you find yourself pregnant at 25 and becoming a mom at 26, and you're living in a place that you really don't know that many people. You have no intention of staying there. You're just there for somebody else so they can get their degree. And you're taking odd and little jobs here and there just to pay the bills while you're there. But by no means are you focused on a career or a passion of your own. And here I was at this time in my life in this little town, taking on the greatest role of my life without even knowing what I was doing. And like I said, it woke me up really quickly to learn not only how to be a mom, which you learn how to be a mom every single day, and that changes every single day. But to figure out who I was. One, I really had to ask myself, how did I get in that situation? How do I not put myself in that situation again? Because the problem we have is that we make these choices in our life. We end up in a situation. We deal with the consequences of those situations. And then we don't learn from them. Because then the next minute, somebody comes along and all of a sudden it's that whole feel good all over again. And we forget and compromise and justify and do all these things over and over again. I was not about to do that. I had somebody who now depended on me. I had a little girl that was now going to be looking up to me, that I wanted to set the example. I wanted to be in a relationship that I was proud for her to be able to witness and watch and learn what love really is. And love is not a word. I mean, it is a word. It's in the dictionary. It is a word. But love truly is an action. And I learned that because my little girl doesn't say the word love. She doesn't say the word love. She won't go near it. She shies away from it. But I've learned her love language. And I know that she loves me because of the things she does and how she acts. And that is the greatest love story God has shown me throughout the years, is because we all desire to be loved. And God has brought me on my own love story that has nothing to do with the word itself, but the action that it demonstrates. He taught me about my love. He taught me about the relationship of loving another person and what that really looks like in being love and also receiving love from somebody else, and what that's like between a child and a parent, and above all, his love for myself. And it's taken time, and it takes time on a daily basis, but it's the most beautiful love story of my entire life to really know what that is. And I'm so thankful that despite the choices and decisions I made, it took a great awakening for God to get through to me, to take me out of that relationship in order to make way for the one that I had been praying for my whole life. And I couldn't ask God for a greater man. And through learning how to love my daughter as a solo parent and what that takes, and demonstrating things. It's an unconditional love that you do every single day without reaping the benefits or reward or moving up in ranks or status in life. You do it because of where it comes from within you, and loving her and seeing what that requires and what that asks. It taught me how to love somebody else in a real way. It taught me how to love myself, and it taught me really what I looked for in a relationship with someone. Once I knew myself, it was easy. It wasn't this tension-filled, compromise, justify. I get to be myself. He gets to be himself. My daughter gets to be who she is. But I wanted to share this with you because we want so much in life for certain things that we are quick to justify and compromise and conform to be what or who somebody wants. We give up our own dreams and desires to help somebody else succeed instead of working side by side to help each other take a step together. And we justify and say things are okay and make excuses for other people. But really it's to make ourselves feel better, because we don't want that social awkwardness or people to look at us any different or to judge us. And I just wanted to share this with you women, and I can't stress it enough and encourage you. Learn who you are. Take the time. It's the greatest, most beautiful journey of your life to really know yourself, not to compromise, justify, or conform. And when I say compromise, I mean don't give up your dreams because somebody says you can or can't do them, or you have to follow in their footsteps and pursue their path in life. Obviously, relationships, you do compromise and you work together on certain things, but it's a give and take, and it's a work together. Spend time getting to know yourself, and don't compromise and justify and conform yourself into a relationship because he has a degree and he's off using that degree doing something else, and I am a solo entrepreneur, solo mom that's an entrepreneur, but it led me to the greatest love story of my entire life. So that's what I had for you guys today. That's my little bit of information. I hope this helps and reaches someone.